Hey, I want to relay a message that I received as a gift for completing what's called a wild hunt. Just briefly, a wild hunt is a ritual drama where you find an area that's anywhere from 9 to 7 miles, usually done on a trail. And you get there the first day, and you make a promise to the spirits of that place, like a bargain, an exchange, and you set up a test. And the test will be that upon the next midnight, you will embark at the starting point, and you have till the very first rays of the sun to get to your end point, which, like I said, is anywhere from 7 to 9 miles long. If you succeed, the spirits there will grant you your request. If you fail, you need to uphold your end of the bargain and perform the task that you said that you would. It's a pretty involved process. There were 12 of us. 6 of us participated, myself included. The other 6 are watchers. They mean that they will go and find you when the sun comes up if you're nowhere in sight. It is done under the patronage of a handful of different, mostly Celtic deities, although we've done them under a couple Norse deities as well. Definitely gods of the hunt, gods of the forest, that sort of thing. Gods that would be determined what you would think of as fae, although most Irish gods are fae. But I think for people to grasp what that looks like, it's easier to say gods that would look like fae, gods of the woodlands. The night before is a big roaring fire. The correct herbal ingredients I won't go into for various reasons, and they help open up pathways to the spirit world, your ability to perceive them. And as midnight comes, drums are sounded and appropriate body paint is applied, and you are on your way. The spirits at this point create many an obstacle. Some of them are physical, a lot of them are psychological and emotional, and sometimes they actually manifest right in front of you. The point is not to make it impossible. The point is to test you and make sure that you're worthy of the request that you've asked for. I completed mine, and my request is that I was shown a vision, something that I could share with everyone, something that I could use no matter what, a vision that I could hold to for the rest of my life and it would always serve me. As I came across my endpoint, there was a lot of moving around that night, and it was a rough night. They really tested me on this. And I crawled I crawled to a place that looked relatively comfortable, and almost immediately I could feel that I was beginning to have an out-of-body experience. I didn't have a complete out-of-body experience, but my dreaming body and my astral body were, I was very aware of the activities of both, and it put me in a definite trance state. Out just feet in front of me, I began to notice a spider's web. And within the spider's web, there was a bee that had flown into that web and was struggling to get out. And a black widow spider inching ever closer. Now, I knew that I was meant to watch this, and I was in so much suspense because this vision would spell out everything. I mean, this was going to mean everything to me, and I it was hard to watch as the spider inched closer and closer to this bee, who, the bee is one of the most revered of all Celtic totems, regardless of what other books or individuals may claim. The spider, who was most assured that her meal would be coming, found out very quickly that this bee didn't agree to being caught in this web, and didn't agree to being the spider's lunch. And this bee, with the beat of its wings and with the threat of stinging the spider, twisted and turned and fought and rolled and showed its stinger to the spider multiple times, and I think may have even given it a jab or two. And this bee finally broke free of this web and it flew away. And I could feel suddenly the return of my normal consciousness. And the message was very clear, and I want to share this all to you, that we are all on a web, and it's not a web of our design. There's the World Wide Web, which is always monitored. It is a trap. The Pentagon has come out and said that they built the World Wide Web as a way to monitor and collect information and personality profiles of all on it. They also admit that it grew out of control and it's not a tool that they're able to fully get a handle on. We live on a grid that was built to sustain us only as long as we are enslaved to the men and women who built it. Everything is interconnected. There's this giant web, and it is all to entrap us. It is all to compartmentalize us, and it is all to tell where we are and what we are doing and who we are. And it is a way for them to send out their little drones, their little spider drones, to come and get us whenever we have stepped outside what they would call acceptable boundaries. But I tell you this, if anything, I've learned that it is possible to break free. It is possible, and we have to do the one thing that they don't want us to do, to believe it is possible to break free. We have to fight our way out of it. Usually I'm pretty angry and I'm really riled, but this vision just gave me a sense of purpose and peace that I haven't felt in quite a long time. And I really see this as a definite turning point, a definite vision that will carry me through. I was reminded of the Web of Orlog, which, you know, spells out our fates, and it's not a definite, but it gives a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. And I think the tables are turning on the Illuminati and the reptilians and all the other dark and sinister forces that have coalesced and interwoven together. And I believe what we're going to start watching is a spider caught within its own web. There's too many bees in the web. We're going to tear it apart. We're going to break free. And that reminds me, it's interesting how fast and how strong they're coming for our First and Second Amendments. Because if they can take away our stingers, we're toast. We're lunch. But if they can take away our First Amendment as well, you know, that's the buzz that we can create, all communicating and all talking together. If they can take away our wings, our stinger and our wings, they have us. But as long as we can keep creating that buzz, encouraging and talking to one another and telling everyone where the enemy is and what the enemy is up to, all of that vibration will eventually bust through the web and break us free. And as long as we have our stingers, when they do come for us for buzzing too much, they'll have to think twice or maybe 3 times before they would be willing to come for us fully. We need to keep them afraid of us, worried about us, and eventually dealing with us is going to get too expensive. They're not going to be able to pay all the jackbooted thugs to come and get us. They're not going to be able to pay for their giant web of enslavement. We need to keep fighting. We need to keep our wings buzzing and our stingers sharp. And freedom freedom is one delicious drop of honey at a time, worth every single second that we work for it, that we quest for it, and definitely worth preserving. This was such a beautiful vision that I give thanks to all those Celtic deities that were part of it, to all my ancestor spirits who were part of that, and to that powerful, brave bee that risked itself to show me a vision that I am sharing with all of you. This is a vision that happened today. This isn't a vision in a Bible that happened 2,000 years ago to some guy you'll never meet. This happened today. This is a direct message from the spirit world that I am relaying to you. That was meant for all people to hear. And I give thanks for being able to come and have this opportunity to share it. I want you all to really, really take it to heart that freedom is only grasped when you say you are ready and willing to do what it takes. I was almost reminded of that movie with it was called The Fly, with the man's head on the fly's body, and he's trapped in the web at the end, and he's saying, "Help me." The bee didn't do that. He didn't scream for help. He didn't wait for some sort of savior bee or cop bees, or he said, he didn't say, "Help me." He said to himself, "I'm going to help myself." And he did it. He broke free. A life and death struggle. And he wins. Imagine that. So next time you feel like yourself in the same situation, and know that we're all on this web, are you going to scream, "Help me"? When are you done screaming that to yourself? And when are you begin to tell yourself you need to help yourself? You need to help yourself to help others. And then you have support, and you'll feel all those wings beating. You'll hear that beautiful buzz of all those bees coming together and tearing apart this fucking web of evil. So think on this vision, use it wherever you find it most powerful in your life, and post some visions of your own, man. I mean, we're all in this together, and man, I'm happy to say that I'm part of it.